Hi there and welcome to another episode of the Trying Hard podcast. Again, ang goal natin sa podcast na ito is for us to admit na lahat tayo ay trying hard people, trying hard to make it in this world, trying to find our place, and of course, impact yung society that we live in for good. And this is a really special episode. Nakalimutan ko bigla na may camera sa harap ko, no? Kasi we're going to also record this in video format. Again, you can check that out naman sa ating YouTube channel. But it's going to be on Lyqa Maravilla at sa YouTube channel, sa very personal na YouTube channel ko. So we have a special guest for today. So last time, we had my good friend, Joyce Spring, talk about yung kanyang journey in making it pagdating sa media broadcasting world. And today, we have a very special guest who will tell us about yung journey naman into being a public historian. What does that mean? How does one end up being a public historian? And ano yung mga steps that he had to take, sacrifices that he had to make, and ano yung love for history, love for country? Is it something you're born with, or is it also something that you try hard to cultivate? And again, without further ado, introduce ko na ang aking very special guest, none other than Professor Xiao Chua, ang public historian na pinanood ko. Yes, kunyari ang layo ng edad, no? Pinanood ko, sir, no, sa TV. Now we have him right here with us. Sir, welcome po sa Trying Hard podcast. Kamusta po kayo?
Makasaysayang araw, Lyqa, at sa lahat ng ating mga nanonood. Sa Team Lyqa, syempre, special shoutout.
Yes, sir. Ito yung mga mga tryhards na admitted sila na tryhards sila na dito po sa podcast. So, again, thank you for agreeing to do this with me. I know you're super busy. We'll jump right into it. So, ang pakilala po natin, kasi every time I listen to you and I hear you talk, you're a public historian. Ano po ba ibig sabihin ng public historian muna?
Well, kailangan liwanagin natin, Lyqa, na pag sinabi nating history, 'di ba? Merong academic history. So, 'yun, yun yung nakapag-aral ka, 'di ba? And then gumagawa ka ng academic papers kasi kailangan liwanagin natin. Hindi lahat na nagsasalita tungkol sa kasaysayan ay historiador. Ayan, mali yun eh. Kasi parang sasabihin mo, hindi lahat ng may alam sa medisina ay doktor. Hindi ganoon eh. 'Di ba? May standard 'yan. Nakapag-aral ka, nagpumasa ka sa exam, medical board. Pero sa pagiging historian, mas mahirap eh. Pero sa akin, kailangan liwanagin natin yan na kapag ka ikaw ay tinawag na historian, ay una, kailangan ikaw ay nagre-research. So ano siya, research at saka nakapaglathala ng isang publikasyon. So at least one publication na nakabatay doon sa disiplina ng history. So yun yung pinaka-basic. Pero yung isa pang kailangan dyan, beyond the basic requirements of the rigor, methodology, ay yung tinatawag natin na alam mong bigyang saysay ang nakaraan. No? So hindi yan yun, kunwari nagkukwento ka lang tungkol sa history, sa nakaraan, na puro datos, at tawag namin doon, trivialization. Kailangan binibigyan mo ng kahulugan at kinokonekta mo sa mas malaking daloy ng kwento ng Pilipinas mula noon hanggang ngayon. So, yung mas malalim na pagpapakahulugan na tinatanong yung tanong na, ano naman ngayon kung alam ko yan? Ano pakinabang ko dyan? Ano ang saysay sa akin yan? So, yun yung pagiging historiador. Now, of course, meron tayong academic historian. Yun yung sumusulat ng mga disertasyon, papel, libro, no? Na technical. Technical yan. Hindi mo yan basta-basta maiintindihan kung hindi ka rin nag-aaral ng kasaysayan. Pero may mga tao na historiador din, tulad ko, na nagkapagsulat din naman at nakapaglathala. So, hindi po totoo na hindi ako kasi sabi nila, Facebook historian daw ako. Totoo historian daw po, may mga journal article po ako. Pero kasi hindi yun ang punto ko. Ang punto ko ay yung mga historiador, paano naman nila ilalapit sa tao? Na maintindihan ng tao, maging accessible sa tao, yung ating kasaysayan. Para hindi na lang magkasaysay yan sa mga marunong o dun sa mga tinatawag nating eksperto. Magkakasaysay din yan sa mas ordinaryong Pilipino, whether tindera sa palengke, security guard, pedicab driver, hanggang sa doktor, hanggang sa mga hindi naman talaga nag-aaral ng kasaysayan, pero mga profesional. So, yun yung tinitingnan natin. So, public history kasi iba-iba ang publics, iba-iba ang audiences. Kaya kailangan aware ka lang kanino ka nakikipag-usap. So, yun yung public history. Kasaysayang pangmadla para sa madla.
Tama. Okay, so in many ways, honestly, I think we'd agree here, sir, no, na what you do for history, I try to do my best then for the fields that I mentioned on my videos. So a lot of it is translation work. It's how do we turn this technical thing into something that is easily digestible for everyone who comes across our content. Sir, na-mention nyo na rin na ang history po is about making getting yung saysay off of like the narrative or this journey ng maraming information. So ngayon po, medyo deep dive po ito. One of the recurring jokes po sa Trying Hard ay open heart surgery po ito every session. So sa akin po, bulat-lat ng puso rin sa akin sa lahat ng mga karanasan ko. So ibabalik natin, sir, yung tanong. How did you become this Xiao Chua that we know? Kasi one of the things na naging curious ako about, sir, talaga, hearing your name was, bakit Xiao Chua? Ano yung ibig sabihin ba ng Xiao tsaka Chua? Kasi ang alam kong Xiao Yu character sa Tekken, sir. So, paano po kayo naging si Sir Xiao Chua?
Well, kung pangalan muna, simple lang. Your friends always give you the most interesting nicknames. And I was always called Mike. So kapag tinawag akong Mike, family yan. So within the family, Mike ang tawag sa akin. And pero nung grade 4 ako, sa Tarlac First Baptist Church School, one of my friends, si Alvin Garcia, called me Chow. So sabi niya, yan ang nickname mo. Kasi from Chua daw, Chua, which is my surname, dahil my great-grandfather is actually Chinese. My great-grandfather. Grandfather ko half Filipino, half Chinese. So ako, actually, Chan ang apelido namin. During naturalization, naging Chua kami. So, hindi na nga namin apelido yun sa totoo lang. But anyway, nakilala na tayo dyan. So, Chua, Chau, Xiao. So, C-H-A-W, yung dating spelling Lyqa. Tapos, nung mga high school ako, kasi parang yung Chow, walang character. Na-feel ko parang walang X factor. Kasi it also reflected my insecurities during that time. Para kasing nung high school ako, di ba tinatawag akong baduy, tinatawag akong yung tingin ng ibang tao sa akin, bakla. Pag 90s, pag tinawag kang bakla, masakit yun. Bakla, di ba? So, may insecurities ako, tapos baduy ako kasi nationalistic songs yung mga pinapakinggan ko nung Centennial, di ba? So, tapos to-talk ako about history. So, parang, sino ang weirdo ng batang ito? I felt I was different. Pero eventually, my third year high school, I started to write journals kasi gusto kong maging si Anne Frank. Alam mo yon. So, parang everyone dreams to become Anne Frank. So, may journal ako. So, parang, you know, when you write and you started to rediscover yourself more by writing, express yourself more, parang na-find mo na rin yung sarili mo. And by, I think, third year or fourth year high school, yun na nga, for halimbawa, yan, na inintroduce ng best friend ko na si Mayo Baluyot, na isang musician and director sa film ngayon, ano? Yung Beatles. Ayan, suot ko yung Beatles. So, yung Beatles, na realize ko na I can be cool even if I am different. So, eventually, pati yung pangalan ko, ni-rebrand ko. So, from C-H-A-W, ginawa ko siyang X. So, yung sabi ko, walang X factor. Di lagyan ng X. X-I-A-O, Xiao. Which is actually small in one of the Chinese languages. Hindi naman ako small. Yung sabi lang, Xiao, buang daw. So, baka doon nagkatugma, buang. Diba? Pero, it's really more of a tribute to Deng Xiaoping. Yung premier ng nag-modernize ng China. So, kaya naging Xiao Chua. Which of course, people take it against me. They troll me that, why are you talking about Philippine history at a Chinese historian? And I'm not Chinese. And we should get away from that thinking na ang pagiging Pilipino ay by race. Diba? I'm Filipino by race and by culture. Diba? Pero dahil pinipilit nyo yan, sinasabi ko, hindi. Ang Pilipino ka pag pinipili mong maging Pilipino. At ina-associate mo yung sarili mo sa kultura mo. So I think yun yung sa name yun, sa name. Yan ang journey kung bakit ako naging Xiao Chua, which is of course part of the package that we have now.
Sir, interject ko lang really quickly, no? I get that comment din sometimes. Kasi Maravilla po yung last name ko. Kung titignan natin yung listahan daw ng mga traditional last names ng Filipino, hindi kasama ang Maravilla kasi apelido daw ng mananakop yan. So, Espanyol naman. So, kung kayo po yung napagbibintangang incheck, napagbibintangan din akong mananakop na Spanish. Diba? Buti na lang morena ako, kaya pwede ko talaga sabihin na hindi, malayong-malayo na yan. Baka isang patak na lang siguro. And again, pinipili natin maging Pilipino. So,
tapos, Reyes naman yung mga apelido nila. Reyes, Santos. Bakit hindi natin sila tinatawag na dayuhan, di ba?
Sir, sabi niyo po kasi, di ba, hindi naman Xiao nung simula. So, kayo po si Mike dati. Tapos, eventually became Xiao. So how did that happen? Paano po kayo napunta sa path ng pagiging isang historiador? Kasi I would agree, sir, no, in a bit, no, kasi for a bit pala na siguro kung naging kaklase ko rin kayo, sir, nung high school, baka napaisip din ako, parang bakit ang bata niya namang na in love sa history? Like, how did you get to where you are right now? Was that a choice? Was it a journey?
Pag tinignan mo yung grade 6 yearbook ni Mike, ang nakalagay doon ay gusto kong maging politician o commentator or other professional sidelines.
Professional sidelines.
Yun na nakalagay. Of course, before that, I wanted to be president of the Philippines. Lahat naman tayo may ganun eh. Pero I fell in love with broadcasting. Kasi si DZMM ako noon, si Ernie Baron, si Noli De Castro. So I wanted to be a broadcaster. Yung pag-appear sa television, ang laking bagay yan pag taga-probinsya ka. So parang I dream na ako yung nasa television explaining things. Bata pa ako, yun na ang dream ko. So, and sabi ko, politician dahil mahilig ako sa history and politics. Diba? And other professional sidelines. Ang hindi ko alam, sa lahat pala na yun mang matutupad yung other professional sidelines. And anyway, nagbibiro lang ako, but come high school, I started to know, parang ganito yan eh. Yes, I have insecurities. Yes, I felt inferiority complex. I did not have so much confidence, but there's one thing I am confident about. Mahilig talaga ako sa kasaysayan. So, alam ko agad na eventually, yun ang path na kukunin ko. Pero, kasi nabasa ko rin si Ambeto Campo, grade 5 ako. Now, pagdating ng UPCAT, dahil ikaw mahilig kang mag-review ng UPCAT, pinipili ko ngayon yung course. Ang gusto ko talagang kunin, journalism. Quota course. So no, sabi ko, ano yung pwedeng susunod kong kunin? Naturally, history. Apparently sa history, ang galing eh. Kasi history, doon sa block namin, 13 lang kami.
Oh.
So ibig sabihin, I had greater chances of getting in because I chose a course that not so many people was getting at that time. Like I remember, in the year 2001, nobody knew what a historian does.
Totoo yan, sir.
Yeah.
Ang idea namin noon, sir, ng historian, siguro parang eto yung mental image sabihin ko lang off the top of my head. Parang kwago. Alam niyo yun, yung mga sa animation films, yung kwago na naka-scholar's hat, nagbabasa ng libro, umuubo kasi puro dust. Yun yung mental image natin pag sinabi mo na historian ka or scholar ka. Yun yung iniisip natin. So, hindi siya attainable na dream eh. Kaya nga, sir, nahihiwagaan talaga ako kung bakit pinili ninyong maging historian.
Now, very quickly, no, people were saying, walang kwentang UP students, in front of me. Walang kwenta yung course mo. Bakit ka nag-history? Pass is pass. Patay na yung mga yan, pinag-aaralan nyo pa. Walang kwenta yan. May ganyan. And sometimes you feel it. Na parang, this is the only thing I wanna do in life. Pero it's parang people don't give too much importance to it. Kung hindi ako kailangan ng taga-yuping ito, ano pang silbi ko? You know, like the worst thing in life is to feel that you're not needed.
Yeah.
The worst thing in life. Kasi yun, finding meaning to your life, di ba? It feels so empty when you're not needed. It feels so empty when you're not in the action. So, yun ang una kong realization. And then, eventually, I graduated. And before the one day before my graduation, I was admitted to the history department of UP. Which was my doon ako nanggaling din. And fascinating yun kasi yung unang job ko talagang pagtuturo, no? Ng kasaysayan, pagiging historiador. As an academic historian. Di ba? Yun ang trajectory. Pero kasi yung dream ko, Lyqa, nung sabi ko nga, nung ako ay nagtutour sa Intramuros, nung grade 5 ako, I wanted to tour students there. And eventually, yung dream na yun, ang magiging desire ng puso ko is, and even when I was still in college and even late high school, sabi ko, Lord, I really want to reach as many people as possible. I do not want to just be a teacher in a classroom. So, yan ang heart's desire ko talaga. At doon na naghalo yung dream ko nung bata ako. I wanted to appear on television. So, there was one time, actually, ganito yan like, maikli lang. No, si Fernando po Jr. natigok, namatay, ang mahal nating FPJ. Alam mo, nakikita ko yung mga fans nagdadala ng magazine. Fourth year college ako noon, fourth year college. So, nadala ko ng magazine na luma ng kasal ni Fernando po. Ang isip ko, pag nakita ko ng media, Lyqa, nandiyan ka pa ba? Nawala ako. I want you so bad, babe. I want you so bad, and it's driving me mad. Ang aga pa. I want you.
Sir, sorry na disconnect kami.
Okay lang po. Uminom din ako kasi napapasarap na yung pagkukwento ko eh. Pasensya ka na ha.
It's
But at
okay,
least
sir.
it's there.
Mm.
Diba? My address and email. My goodness. Teka lang ha. Sasagot lang ako dito sa query.
Sir.
O Lara Lane. Pero Sandy, meron kang t-shirt, gano'n?
Yes, sir. Papunta na po yung shirt.
Wow! Hindi umabot.
Lahat na po.
So, susunod. Susunod ko yan
Yes,
ito December. Pero ibig sabihin,
masusukat po ito.
walang nagbebenta? O pwede, meron nang pwedeng magbenta.
Ano sir, naayos pa po namin kung mag-change kami ng provider sir. Pero yan pong, yung pong ipapadala namin sa inyo, pina-custom po ni Zandy para
Yung
ma-send
custom
namin.
ba that means 4X?
Po?
4X ba?
Hindi po eh. Hindi ko alam, 3X po yata yung largest.
Okay na, 3X. Buti na lang kasi kung 2X, hindi kasya sa akin. Ay. Okay. Thank you so much.
Okay naman yun, sir. I think, hintayin ko lang po si Zandy. Sorry po, medyo late na. Ito po yung problema namin kasi po, ilang days na kami, sir, walang PLDT. Hindi ko lang po masabi kasi nasa PLDT, nasa smart po ako.
Alam mo,
pero ilang days na kami.
Ituring mo na ako ang honored at ako ang, ako ang kumukuha ng oras mo. So, I'm just delighted na makasama kayo ni Sandy.
I-ano ko na lang, sir, isisingit ko na po yung Kasi po, honestly, what I know is you na as the historian I watch on TV. Like, and then we can transition into the questions na po.
Sige. Ko lang ma'am, itatapusin ko lang yung
Yes,
kwento
sir.
ko. Kasi maikli
Yes,
na
po.
lang yun eh. Gusto ko lang kasing yung i-drive home yung point na parang when you want something, you really have to work about it. You really have to do steps to make it happen eh. O sabihin mo kung okay ka na ha.
Yes, sir. Okay na? Sige,
Wala ba?
sir, okay na pa.
Okay, sige. So, natputo lang kay Fernando po. So, i-cut mo lang tigok kasi yung sabi ko eh. So, ulitin ko na yung buong sentence. In 2004, namatay si Fernando po Jr. Fourth year, college ako noon. Hindi pa ako teacher, instructor. So, ang nangyari, nakita ko yung mga fans, kapag may dala-dalang memorabilia ni Fernando po Jr., ini-interview. So sabi ko, una, ayaw ng nanay ko pumunta ako sa burol ni Fernando po. Kasi 'di ba, baka magkagulo, 'di ba, yung gawing protesta, etc. So, pero sabi ko, kailangan mapunta ako doon kasi number 1 history 'yun. Gusto ko, I want to be in history. Or at least write it. Diba? And number 2, yun na nga, dala-dala ko yung Fernando po Jr. na magazine ng kasal niya na nabili ko, 1960s. Wow. Tapos, pinapakita ko doon sa mga fans. Tapos, nung nakita nung kapatid ni Fernando po Jr., ayun, nakita nung media. So, dinala ako sa Channel 2 para interviewin. Na hindi pa ako historian yan, ha? Estudyante ako niyan. So, eventually, nung ako'y naging faculty ng history department ng UP, kapag mayroong, kasi yung historians, they have bad experiences with media. How? Pag in-interview ka 1 oras, ang lalabas lang 15 seconds. Diba? So parang akala mo parang ang astig-astig mo, tapos yung pinakapangit na sinabi mo, yun ang inilagay. Yung sinabi mo maganda, yun ang sinabi ng reporter. Galit na galit yung mga historiador sa ganyan. So, yung mga historians ayaw magpa-interview. So, sabi ko, ako ang magpapa-interview.
So, basically, you kept saying yes, sir, kapag may
yes.
Okay.
Oo, kasi nga, kapag ang proud ako, pag nakikita ko ng nanay ko sa TV. Diba? So, yun ang, kaya, eventually, ang nangyari, na pag sama ko yung childhood dream ko na maging si Noli De Castro at yung aking passion and my advocacy for history and naging public historian nga ako. Yun ang kwento ko.
Yes, sir. Kasi one thing na masasabi ko would be, again, I am a fan, no? Kasi po, nakikita ko kayo sa TV ever since that you would tackle these issues about history. Pero you have a way of explaining things nga na madaling tanggapin. Again, as someone kagaya ko na medyo takot na sa history at takot sa araling panlipunan, the way you explain it's really simple to understand. So, I was here looking up at you na, okay, Sir Xiao Chua, like, may authority siya, nakikita ko siya sa TV. And this was long before na nagkaroon ako na kahit katiting na experience being on camera. So I really looked up to you that way. Pero ang question, sir, kasi I think medyo na-touch na rin natin sa narrative nyo kanina. Can you still, at your position ngayon, na kayo po ang public historian ng bayan, do you still call yourself a try-hard or do you consider yourself na trying hard din ba kayo?
Yes, of course. I will always be trying hard. Why? Because the moment you stop trying, that's the moment you stop developing.
Yeah.
Diba? Kasi ganito yan eh. If you think you know everything, that's the worst. Kasi the best thing about learning, tatagalugin ko o Filipino ko, ang pinakamagandang bagay tungkol sa edukasyon at pagkatuto ay yung pag nagkamali ka, tapos may nagsabi sa'yo, mali ka.
Wow.
Diba? Actually, mas yun, kaya ako, yung some historians, they are afraid to make mistakes. I'm not afraid to make mistakes. Oh, in fact, kahit na magkamali ako, sasabihin ko lang, thank you sa comment mo, tinatanggap ko, at sasabihin ko sa'yo, I will be better next time, I will read more kung ako'y nagkamali. So, pagka ganun yung experience mo, mas naaalala mo. Siyempre, so I will always be trying hard in that sense. In another sense, some academic historians do not see me much as an academic historian. Dahil nga, nag-ano na ako doon sa public historian. And also because of my attempts na mag-public history, like trying hard talaga, like, accepting invitations. Hindi ako makapag-no, lalo na kung alam kong nangangailangan, di ba, ng impormasyon. Kahit minsan, kahit kulang sa bayad o walang bayad, minsan mapapa-oo ka na rin dahil nakikita mo yung puso nila, kagustuhan nilang matuto and all of that. Pero, dahil sa lahat ng trabaho na ganun, yung burden, which I think Lyqa, you understand, di ba? Is that the academic historians think that I am not historian enough.
Okay.
Dahil nga, ang nangyari sa akin ay, yung research, kasi yung ibang academic historians, they research in Spanish archives. Ako, ang preoccupation ko, although I've done that, I've done research. Iba lang yung PhD ko ngayon, kaya talagang anthropological ang approach ko sa ngayon, no, dahil PhD ko ay anthropology. Pero yun na nga, because what I do is I make the information understandable, 'di ba? Yeah. Yun na yung preoccupation ko. Yun na yung nai-spend ko na time. So in a way, in many ways, trying hard pa rin ako. And trying hard lalo na in a third level to finish my PhD. Kasi parang wala kang napatunayan, parang wala kang napatunayan kung hindi ko sa mga academic historians, kung wala yung 3 letra na yun. And I think that is still my dream. Now, I'm about 250 pages already in my dissertation.
Wow.
Pero hindi ko pa rin siya matapos. Sumusulong, pero 10 taon na ako sa program. So, yun yung problem. So, dahil nga sa ginagawa ko. So, in many ways, you can say I'm still trying hard. Parang hindi pa nagiging ganap yung pagiging historiador ko. Just because I am doing something else. Which for me is more important. Pero, that PhD, those 3 letters will secure my job, Lyqa. So it's a vicious cycle. Ang nangyayari sa akin, dahil kailangan kong mabuhay, kailangan kong maglabada. Pero dahil sa paglalabada ko, hindi ko na kukuha yung bagay na dapat magkaroon ako para mabawasan na yung paglalabada ko.
Okay.
Yun ang,
I
kaya
understand that, sir.
trying hard pa rin
Yeah.
ako.
I understand that, sir. In many ways, no. Totoo nga po, no. Isa rin sa mga struggles ko yan, sir, and I'm so happy that you shared that kasi isa po sa mga sabihin na natin na bagay na I'm a little bit hesitant about is kasi people call me teacher, pero hindi po kasi ako teacher by profession. So, psychology po ang aking major at ang lisensya ko po ay registered psychometrician. So, hindi po talaga ako teacher. Hindi po ako LPT. And it also, of course, triggers a lot of people that they would say na hindi ka dapat gumagawa ng educational content kasi hindi ka naman teacher. So, wala kang credibility sa field na yon. So, medyo nakaka-relate po talaga ako. Naswak po yung bagay na yun. So, ito, sir, hindi na lang hihingi kong advice.
Gusto ko lang sabihin sa'yo, yun na nga, dahil kung ini-snub ako ng ilang historians, just because I'm not historian enough, I'm doing public work, nangyayari din kay Ambeto Campo yan na ating pinagmulan ng aking inspirasyon. 'Di ba? So, anong sinasabi natin? Di i-create natin yung public history. 'Di ba? Public history dito sa Pilipinas na ginagawa na noon pa, dine-develop lang natin. So, ikaw, you might not be a licensed professional teacher, pero I think what you're doing is in the realm of public education. So, you have the education in the classroom, which is the formal education, but we can create a public education, which is supplements formal education, not it replaces it.
Wow.
Diba? So yun yung value ng work mo, Lyqa. You're a public educator. Public historian, public educator. Do not be afraid of using that term. Diba? Because we are helping teachers. I'm helping historians reach their audience, which is the Filipino people, hopefully. And you are, as a public educator, helps teachers to understand more because you have the flair, the language, diba? And the capacity to make it more understandable for people, and that will help education in the long run.
Thank you, sir. Sir, may nagpapayo po sa akin. And I think, kasi hindi ko rin alam kung ano yung sasagutin sa kanya kasi nga po, I'm still struggling with it. And yung sinabi niyo po sa akin is very comforting. Pero sabi niya sa akin is that, meron po daw kasi siyang mentor. And siya daw, bilang isang trying hard, and ino-own niya ito, sinusubukan niya talaga na mag-succeed sa field na to. Pero yung mentor niya daw mismo ang nagsabi, na baka kailangan mo nang mag-quit o kaya kailangan mo nang maghanap ng ibang gagawin sa buhay.
Right.
Ipapasa ko po yung tanong sa inyo, sir, na paano kung ganun po? Paano kung someone that you look up to, yung sabihin natin parang sa atin, di ba? We look up to certain people. Pero they're the ones who are telling us na pero hanggang dito ka lang eh. So, hindi ka pwede tumawid. Ito lang yung kakayanan mo. Maybe you should quit. Ano po kaya yung pwede nating gawing encouragement sa kanya?
Sa akin, mas doon sa, may mga mentors ako, one is encouraging. In fact, talagang, and this guy is very hard to please. I will not name names, but very hard to please. Pero sinasabi niya, tama yung ginagawa mo, binibigay mo sa bayan ng kasaysayan. But there are some people, even those that I was, parang sila yung naging mentors ko, may isa dyan na siguro sobrang old school na rin talaga niya, na parang merong konting discouragement sa paggawa sa public history. And why? Because remember that historians are not used to being bashed.
Yeah.
Diba? And when you go public, that's your risk. That's the risk of the job. Na kapag once that you put yourself there in the front line, on television, on radio, on YouTube, on Facebook, hindi mo na maiiwasan that you will be vulnerable to open to attack. Not just attacks on what you say, but attacks on your personality, which as people hurt us, as real human beings hurt us, Lyqa and myself, di ba? So, yun yung sinasabi ko na parang tatanungin mo na yung sarili mo. Kasi sa totoo lang, kung may nagdi-discourage sa'yo ng ganun, hindi pa rin naman, it's not up to her or him eh. No.
Yeah.
You ask yourself, di ba? are you willing to give up what you really want to do in life?
Yeah.
Yun lang naman yun eh. Are you willing to give up what you want to do in life for the peace? Yes, peaceful, but you don't feel your significance or your need. The need, the things that you can offer, you cannot be, o hindi mo pwedeng ma-reach yung full human potential mo dahil gusto mo ng mapayapang buhay. I will always choose to be in the battlefield, Lyqa. No? So, yun ang ano, and I will always try. And remember this, Lyqa, and this is what I'm feeling now as a teacher. Tumatanda na ako. I used to be the cool one. I know that. I used to be the one na ang mga estudyante punong-puno sa klase ko because they wanted to listen to me. And then nafe-feel mo na, ako nafe-feel ko na ngayon kahit na may interaction ako sa mga kabataan like na there's difference already in opinion that makes me look like a boomer. So,
iba na yung language.
Iba yung language, iba yung pananaw. So for example, doon sa end the SEM campaign ng ilang mga bata,
Yes.
hindi ko nakikita yung sense nun eh. I know they can explain to me, pero para sa akin parang no, we cannot let life stop by the pandemic and by our disasters. Kailangan tumuloy tayo dahil yun ang ginagawa sa problema. You have to solve them, you have to face them. Sa mga bagong kabataan ngayon, iba ang pananaw nila. So parang it's my job as a public historian is always to try hard to always refashion your message because you have to look if you still make sense to other people, kung naiintindihan ka pa ba nila, kung tama ka pa ba sa pananaw nila, kasi ang nagmamatter talaga aside from your truth and the truth based on evidence ay yung naiintindihan ka pa ba nila, jive ka pa ba nila, are you still in the same wavelength? So now you don't try hard too much, like di ba, it's one thing is probably maging payaso ako sa TikTok, still delivering history, pero you know it's not me anymore. So how do you try hard reaching your audience in today's world without compromising, Lyqa, your core, yourself, your core, your main beliefs in life? Diba? I mean, it's becoming a neoliberal world, and you know we're Christians, diba? Isang itatrend mo din yun, diba? So yung mga bagay na yan yung constant learning, unlearning, relearning na ginagawa natin. That's why being a professional, being a public educator, and being a public historian is a process of always trying hard to have saysay.
Yes.
Yun.
Yes, sir. I agree. I agree. In every field, I feel naman it's the same. Like, if you really want to create a difference or you want to change things in life, hindi siya isang final destination eh. Kasi kung final destination siya na if I reach this salary grade level, okay na ako.
Ay, mali yan.
Hindi tayo makakagawa ng change that we want to create in the world. So it's always chasing a moving target. And I think, siguro sir, sabihin ko na lang, a lot of people, of course, included tayo dyan, nakakapagod din yun eh. Na minsan, kapag hinahabol natin yung isang bagay na alam natin is near impossible to attain in this lifetime, nakakapagod kasi parang hindi mo na nakikita yung mga milestones mo. Hindi mo nakikita na may long-term effect yung ginagawa natin. So I think that's the part na nakakapagod. Kaya sir, ito na lang question ko. I know, and honestly na, let me just say this sa podcast. This probably won't be the last conversation that we'll have with Sir Xiao Chua, no? Kasi marami kaming pwedeng pag-usapan pa. Yung usapang bashers, usapang, okay, everything, academic, credit. It's another conversation, no? Pero siguro last question na lang, sir, to round it out. after you telling all of these stories, now you tried hard to be a broadcaster, and you became the face of history on TV. You try hard to be a historian, to be, of course, recognized in the academic field, and you have that in your under your belt. Then being an instructor sa UP, hindi yan an easy job. So ano if there's something else in life na bago that you still want to try, what's something else na gusto niyo pa po subukan? Pwede nang hindi masyadong deep yung answer, sir, ha? Talagang lang.
Hindi.
Light answer lang.
One, I want to be Dr. Xiao Chua.
Yes.
Siyempre, di ba? And hopefully, it comes soon. But also, I want to be a book author.
Wow.
Di ba? Parang, wow, historian, hindi pa book author. Totoo yun. Because most of my work is in social media and in journals. My book on Bonifacio is a children's story book.
Yeah.
Meron ka, nabigyan kita. Pero yun, although it's a book, it's a legitimate book, and I think it's a very important work for children, hindi pa ako nagkakaroon ng isang book na proper book from a university press. So, gusto ko pang itry yan. Diba? Tapos syempre, gusto ko talaga magkaroon na kapag ka natapos na, kasi ang daming kong na-miss na opportunities dahil nagpi-PhD ako. So parang gusto ko, kapag ka natapos ko na yung PhD ko at mas stable na yung job ko, gusto ko rin talagang gumawa ng content ulit na tulad ng Showtime. Or, iniisip ko yan na, kunwari, mag-ano ako, vlog ako ng mga places sa Pilipinas, 'di ba, na napupuntahan ko, na hindi ko siya magawa ngayon kasi wala akong resources at wala akong tao na kasama at wala akong time. So, ako kasi as si Zio Salazar once told me, alam mo siya, masyado ka nagmamadali. Nung mga 27 years old ako. Ilang taon ka na ba? Sabi ko, 27, sir. Alam mo, noong 27 ako, yung narating mo ngayon, hindi ko pa narating yan. Yeah. Yung narating mo, narating ko yan nung 40 na ako. Ginayo ko kasi si Sios, pinubuto niya ako. But anyway, a main point is what he told me was important. Restraint.
Yeah.
Restraint. So, ibig sabihin, parang wag yung, alam mo yung when you're overtly passionate,
yes,
and you risk and you run the risk of actually being annoying. Diba? So restrain your passions, restrain your, kasi parang you cannot be on, parang yun na nga nung lesson ko rin nung nag-TikTok ako, parang I was spreading myself too thinly already.
Yes. Yeah.
So parang sabi ko, hindi ko lang maiwasan ngayon kasi sa totoo lang, I think I'm an overexposed historian. Pero kasi syempre, ako nga, I tried deflecting Parang, kapag ka ganitong topic, bibigay ko sa isang younger historian para sila naman yung ma-interview. Pero kasi, ang dami pa rin iwas sa media So anyway, that said, hindi ko maiwasan na hindi ako ma-expose. Kasi talagang tayo na yung tinatanungan and you cannot refuse. People wanted answers, you give answers, di ba? But yun na nga, ako, yung kaya rin ako, feeling ko masaya naman ako sa buhay Lyqa Feeling ko may mga vicissitudes, minsan you get tired, di ba? Nasunugan nga kami ng bahay, ng old houses, may mga libro ako nasunog, etc. Buti na lang walang namatay. So yun ang consolation sa akin. Hindi na ko naman pwedeng sabihin hindi naging madali, naging mahirap yung buhay ko kasi may time na natanggal ako sa trabaho and it became a controversy, no? Dahil parang you felt na hindi makatarungan yung pagkaalis sa akin. 'Di ba? And that was my MMK moment, 'di ba? Parang I questioned, talaga bang teacher ako? Talaga bang historian ako? Baka kung naging komedyante ako, baka mas mayaman ako ngayon, naging thankful ako. Mas thankful job yun. Kasi thankless job magturo, Lyqa, you know this.
Totoo yan.
No? So, ang nangyari sa akin, parang nagkaroon ako ng expectation setting na kung anong dumating, yun ang para sa akin. Kung anong mawala, sila ay dapat mawala at sila ay nararapat mawala. No? Kasi people might be thinking na ang yaman-yaman ko o mariwasa ako sa buhay, my needs are met. Pero wala akong ipon, alam mo yon, pagka bigla akong na-aksidente ngayon, sa totoo lang, ito, sinasabi ko in full public view dahil sinasabi mo nga, ito ay open heart surgery. Pag ako na-aksidente ngayon, hindi alam kung saan kukuha ng pera ang para sa akin. Ganun ka wala akong ipon. Yung libro ko ang kayamanan ko. So, anyway, that said, I'm still very happy. I mean, I'm contented. And I don't know how many people can say that.
Yeah.
And just because I believe na whatever opportunities gets into my way, yun ay para sa akin. So, going back to the question that there's still something else I want to try, ako, kung ano yung dumating, yun ay tinatanggap ko. Nung dumating yung pagkakataon na makausap ka, Lyqa, sinusunggaban ko. Diba? Dahil ito ay part lahat ng journey. At masaya ako na nakikipag-usap sa inyo, sa lahat ng mga nakakasama ko. May mga minsan na nakakapagod lang talaga. But anyway, yun yung ko, parang I'm not also expecting too much of my life. Basta ako, kung hindi man ako yumaman ng napakayaman o hindi man ako, at least my needs are met and I get to serve you. I get to be useful to you. Gamitin niyo po ako, gawin niyo po akong tulay sa pagitan ng mga akademiko at ng mamamayang Pilipino. And I will always be at your service at hanggang ang Panginoong Diyos ay may ibinibigay sa aking buhay, hanggat may kakayahan po ako, ay iniaalay ko po ang aking buhay sa gawaing ito ng paglalapit ng kasaysayan sa bayan para sa sambayan ng Pilipino.
Great words, sir. Great words. I agree. Again, one of the things I feel kaya medyo in line tayo sa isa't isa is because I always say that din in English nga lang kasi sorry guys, pero it really is mas comfortable kasi ako speaking in English. Naiingit ako kay Sir Xiao, no, kasi kaya niya sabihin in straight Filipino. I'm still relearning my R. Pero it's
ako
the same.
Din, R.
Like I should give, like at the end of your life, if you could say that binigay ko lahat, na I did all the good I could do, I tried my very best, isn't that the biggest dream of all? Na at the end of your life, you feel no guilt, no regrets, kasi you know that in every endeavor, you tried your hardest. So whether it succeeded or whether you failed or whether it led you to another direction, meron ka pa ring mapupuntahan na maganda. Sir, key takeaways ko lang from your story, so I can list them down for the people listening. I loved how you told us na at the beginning na if you want to make something out of your life, like okay, being Mike is a little bit boring for me. Like I want to be someone else. I want to turn this into an image or persona. You can do that. Like siguro takeaway yon, it's never too late to reinvent yourself. We share that a little bit din, sir, kasi sa bahay namin hindi Lyqa ang original kong nickname, Ann. Pero yung Coach Lyqa that you hear and you see, that is in many ways a persona that is forward facing. This is who I need to be with you and to have a greater impact. So again,
and when you want to rest, you retreat to your former self sometimes.
Yes, of course, definitely. So it's always an aspect of yourself. And honestly, merong magandang backing yan sa psychology, no? If meron kang persona, like di ba si Beyonce, meron siyang Sasha Fierce, di ba? Lady Gaga, hindi naman yun ang pangalan niya. So again, if these things kind of help you own that part of your personality, why not? Right? Try it out. Itong bagay na to, like being in this podcast and learning this in many ways, di ba, hindi ito gagawin ni Anne, pero si Coach Lyqa open siya dito. Pero again, si Coach Lyqa naman, hindi naman ganito ka-personal. So this is just Lyqa. So again, thank you for joining us sa akin this night, no? Pero kung anumang oras niyo pinapakinggan to, thank you for joining us. Keep saying yes to opportunities like Sir Xiao Chua did, hanggang maging Xiao Chua din kayo. And look at each opportunity that comes your way as something that is sent your way. So we can take on that opportunity and make the most out of it. Thank you, sir, for being one of the tryhards na admitted in their field.
Yes.
When I started this podcast, I was thinking, would people actually agree na aminin yung pagiging trying hard nila? Kasi ako, sir, sinabi ko talaga na trying hard kasi ako. Tapos inisip ko, baka people won't admit it. So thank you for joining me here and saying that na kayo ay trying hard din. Marami po salamat.
Lyqa, if they do not agree, that means that they're not meant to be your guest in trying hard.
Totoo rin. Ang gandang takeaway yan for me personally, sir. So again, thank you so much for being with us tonight. And we can follow Sir Xiao Chua rin. Sir, can you plug your social media accounts po? Saan namin kayo makikita? Where can we learn from you more?
Please subscribe to my YouTube page. Please use YouTube search Xiao Chua, Xiao Chua. I'm desperate for subscribers. And you can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And also my websites for teachers and for history fans, xiaochua.net, bangkanisiao.wordpress.com. So again, Lyqa, from a public historian to a public educator, thank you so much for all the things that you're doing for the Filipino people. And salamat po. At huwag tayong titigil hanggat kaya ng ating lakas. Minsan nakakapagod, pahinga lang ng konti, sulong ulit, padayon tayo. God love you.
Thank you, Sir Xiao Chua. And salamat po sa lahat ng ginagawa nyo. Online, on-screen, and more importantly, yung off-screen din, tsaka offline. Thank you for being who you are and being trying hard.